So when you're going to make a record that's got a lot of guitars in it, the real question is, how are you going to layer these guitars? What is the tracking scheme of the guitars going to be? The truth is, there's a bunch of different options. And when I start making a record, I don't always know. Sometimes I start out with one and then kind of pivot to another. Sometimes it varies from song to song. It definitely varies depending on the format of the band and the type of music that the band plays. So the simplest one is the one guitar player band where you're not looking to really do any overdubs other than maybe like a solo or quad tracking or something. If you're doing a one guitar player band, the simplest way you do it, you take the guy's rig, you record it. You take the guy's rig, you double record it. It's the same rig. That's going to sound cohesive. It's going to sound like one guy. Think an album like Silverchair Freak Show, where they're clearly just like a three-piece, and you don't even really hear the double tracking. It's just, I don't even know if there is double tracking on that. But either way, you're trying to recreate this homogeneous sound of simple, clear. You just are doing the doubling for spatial effect so that you don't have to like find a way to pan the one guitar. You can do the one guitar if you're doing certain kinds of music. You can do the one guitar, pan it a little bit off, maybe do like a reverb send if you're doing some like post-rock stuff or something crazy. I've done records like that, and that can be really cool. However, generally, you just track a one guitar player band where he's got a guitar on the left, or maybe it starts in the center, and then when everything's going, big guitars. If the band has more traditional formats, you can add layers underneath in choruses, or bridges, or outros. And if they're going to do a solo or a lead, you can either track it down the middle if it's more of a solo or like, a lead that's like a signature lead, but there's no vocals in a spot. Or if they're going to do like a overdub they can't really do live, maybe you stereo track it and you tuck it underneath the rhythms. In doing that, if you want it to be less traditional three-piece sounding and maybe a little more interesting, you can change up things about the left and right guitars. And obviously I've made some videos on the trick to wide guitars. This would be kind of a microcosm of that for the one guitar player band. So maybe you find two tones using two different heads, but the guy has to use his signature guitar. Or you find a signature head, and he plays a certain kind of guitar like a Strat or a Tele, and then you do the other side with a different Strat or Tele so you get more non-linearities. Or maybe you do that in the verses and the choruses are one guitar, or the verses is simpler and then the choruses become more. There's a lot of options, and this is in a one guitar player band.